Oziyah Sellers, one of the what I consider one of the more underrated shooters in the portal, has committed to St. John's after having a bounce back year for Stanford. Starting off at USC, Oziyah Sellers finds his way in the Big East with Rick Pitino, brings some much needed shooting to this team. Obviously, Dion, you and I followed St. John's closely last year, and St. John's was a team whose season ended how some might have saw it ending, right? They could not hit anything from anywhere. And I think, one of the things we've seen with their portal strategy so far is that they are adding guys that are shot makers. Now I thought they added some guys that are shot makers. That doesn't necessarily mean they're like 3-point shot makers. This is the first ad I think that creates a little spacing for other guys on the floor. I think it's much needed, much needed. I like the fit a lot here. What are your thoughts on Oziyah Sellers, one, and then two, what do you think this means for St. John's? 'Cause I think you and I did the original video when he entered the portal, if I remember correctly.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Kat, we've done probably 300 videos together in the last month.
So it's a good bet that we did.
Yeah, it's a good bet we did. It's also a good bet I don't remember doing it. But I love this kid's game. I mean, he could shoot the ball. I said this on the Caleb Foster video yesterday. There is so much money to be made for being a role player, and I feel like Oziyah Sellers gets it. He's out there to play defense and he's out there to shoot the ball, not necessarily out there to do like a ton else. He shot over 40% from three the last two seasons. Granted, one of them was under two attempts at 1.7 at USC, but feel this way about a lot of people. If the orange round ball goes through basket, I do not care how many attempts, who you did it against. It doesn't matter to me. If Oziyah Sellers gets an open look, he's going to knock it down. And when you put him next to Sanon, Bryce Hopkins, it sure seems like Ian Jackson's on the way as well. Those are three absolute bucket getters. It's going to open up a ton of open looks for Oziyah Sellers, and he places the orange thing inside of the basket at a high rate.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy that's 45 from the field, 40 from three on 4 attempts a game. For a guy, the one thing for me is a guy that shoots as well as he does and the size that he is, you would think his attempts would be up a little bit, but I trust the shot completely. He's almost 90% from the line, even though he doesn't really get there as much. I mean, averages under 3 attempts a game. But he's a guy that is just, I think, 6'5" and can stretch the floor. And if you're St. John's, that's exactly what you need. You have Zuby Ejiofor down low. You have Bryce Hopkins as your four man. You have Sanon, who I think can shoot the ball well, but he's also more of like a, like midi slasher, gets to the basket at this point. But I do think he can also shoot the ball. But they needed these type of guys. They're also in for Ian Jackson. St. John's is flexing that. Ricky P's flexing that wallet, man. You might notice there's a lot of lights on behind me. There's a big ring light I'm using to record this. You want to know why those lights stay on? Because of Underdog, because of these ad reads, people.
Yeah, we heard your feedback. You're annoyed that we keep putting Underdog ads in the middle of our videos. Well, guess what? We got to keep the lights on, and we need some people to sign up for Underdog Fantasy. If you like these videos, if you want us to keep making videos, sign up with Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code SLEEPERS, and they actually have an awesome offer for you. You can receive up to $1,000 in bonus credits. 50% of your first deposit will be distributed in bonus credits, and you get a free pick. And Cart, I got a pick with Underdog Fantasy for this weekend that I'm already eyeing. We got the Pistons and the Knicks, first playoff series in a while for our favorite team. Cade Cunningham over 27 and a half points. I'm taking higher than that for my pick with Underdog. Promo code SLEEPERS. Sign up with Underdog Fantasy. It helps the show. It helps us keep making these videos for you. Back to the show.
What I like about Patino, I love when any coach does this. Listen, you could be a 9 to 5 manager of a warehouse. I love when people say, "Hey, yeah, we had a little success last year, not enough though." And like
Yeah.
some of that is on me. And Ricky P's like, "Yeah, we were a 2 seed. Yeah, we're gonna hang two banners next year. That second round L, I'm not cool with that. And I'm about to go fix what was wrong with last year's team." And he's doing it. RJ Lewis, I'm gonna be honest, brother, I think you made a mistake. I'm gonna just be the one to say it. No one else is saying it because of how good you are. You're an All-American. I still think you made a mistake.
Yeah, it's crazy that there is a real argument that Ricky P did all he did last year, wins two banners, like you said, has an All-American, has the Big East Player of the Year, loses the Big East Player of the Year to the portal and upgrades his roster.
like significantly
I'm
upgrade.
I'm so scared of Ricky P. I love the way this is why he's one of the best coaches in the sport, and he's adjusting to the times too. Like he didn't skip a beat. He also didn't skip a beat because he was doing this before, so it's not really
Yeah.
adjusting.
Yeah, I was gonna say like my dog Slick been doing this for 2 decades. Like
He's been doing NIL when we were still had cassette players. It's he's been rocking this way. But no, I love this ad of Oziyah Sellers, and with some of the other rumors, St. John's ads that are in the fold, like maybe Sellers is a guy who provides shooting off the bench, which is even more of an upgrade of an ad for St. John's. But I really like this ad. Dion, you got anything else to say about this?
I would just be very, very concerned about St. John's if I'm a Big East fan, or
Yeah,
honestly anybody in the country.
I was thinking the same thing because obviously I'm a Big Ten guy, right? And as a Michigan State fan, I'm seeing how Purdue's moving, right? Um, if you're a Big East school, right? Obviously, I love what UConn's doing. I'm not saying Big East schools aren't going to be in contention, but like you're watching the team that won the regular season, won the Big East tournament, do nothing but upgrade for this season. So it's like you got to get with it or get lost. But yeah. I think once we get to the point where the portal closes, we'll be talking about St. John's as one of the winners of the portal. And the ad of Oziyah Sellers is one that makes a lot of sense and is very, very impressive from Ricky P. And I'm sure he's not done, and I'm sure we'll be on here to talk more about it. But congratulations to Oziyah Sellers coming to the Big East to play for Rick P in Madison Square Garden. Dion, you got anything
Can we
else?
talk one thing I want to say about Ozzie Sellers? Can we talk about how like great of a transfer portal guy he is? You get to go to LA and then you get to say you went to Stanford and now you're like, yeah, I'll go ahead and end it in MSG. Special.
Yeah, yeah, I like the way he operates. Good
Yeah,
camp. Once we start ranking camps and advice people, Sellers camp, stock up,
way at the top.
way up to the
Special.
rock. Congrats to Ozziah Sellers.